Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
Good Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to catch my drift here at Wham Talk 1600. And you can call into the show, 734-822-1600. Talk about any of the stories we're going to do today or something else if you want to. And if you're not going to the dailydrift.com, that's what we do this radio show every Saturday for. We kind of recap the news of the week that we've put at thedailydrift.com. So you can catch that at www.thedailydrift.com. And but let's take care of a little business. If you need an amazing new gift for your loved one, call Oriel Jewelry. That's A-U-R-I-E-L, Jewelry in South Lyon, 248-446-0408, 108 North Lafayette, right in the middle of downtown South Lyon. Joe is a great craftsman when it comes to jewelry. So he's actually going to go out of business in June. He's closing up the shop. He's still going to do custom work by appointment only, but he's got a store that is chock full of the most unique jewelry and gifts that you can imagine. Joe's a great guy, very interesting to talk to. He's got a great history and has a talent like no other when it comes to making unique custom jewelry. So if you need something for an upcoming wedding or an anniversary or those other special moments in your life, give Joe a call, 248-446-0408, and you can get some great discounts on the stuff that he's already made, and it's in stock at the storefront there. So check him out, downtown South Lyon. That's Oriel Jewelry, 248-446-0408. Go see Joe. Okay, so lots of news this week, and I wanted to kind of start with the something from the I Told You So file. So remember we talked about the activists pushing for the $15 an hour minimum wage for everybody. Let me hit my coffee here real quick. Sorry, I just not quite up to par today, but I'll be there. Let me get there. A little bit of coffee in me should get me moving. From the Told You So file, Wendy's restaurants is now going to be moving to kiosks. Now, we said this would happen. Robots are going to replace. If you try to push these restaurateurs into paying $15 an hour, and let's face it, we've been through this argument a million times. $15 an hour, you want to call that a living wage? I don't. You know, working at a fast food restaurant, that's a part-time job. That's a kid's initial entry to the market job. That's what that is for. You're not supposed to be raising 2 and 3 kids on fast food. You want to make $45-50 a year, you got to move into management at a Wendy's. And I've told you this before. My brother owns a bunch of Wendy's restaurants. He's not the corporate guy. He's an actual owner, franchisee, and it kills him to pay the fry guy, the cashier, the window worker guy, $15. You can't do that. This is not possible in this neck of the woods. Now, you can go to North Dakota, right? In North Dakota, they pay $15 an hour to start at fast food restaurants. Why? Because the market demands it. There are so many people working the oil fields and the gas fields out there that there's no one left to work. They have to pay top dollar. That's called economics, folks. When you have fewer people, you have to pay more labor. That's the way it is. Now, the Democrats who are pushing all these minimum wage hikes are the same Democrats who keep bringing in more people to the labor market every year, right? Close the border, stop bringing in legal immigrants. You bring in 1 million legal immigrants a year into this country. What do you expect to happen to the labor market? You're flooding it, right? Flooding it. That's simple economics. It doesn't take a brain surgeon. It doesn't take anything more than that first economics class you may have had in junior high or high school. High supply, low demand, right? You get it? People are not going to get paid more when there's so many people willing to take that job. It's called competition. So what are you going to get with kiosks now? Let's lighten it up for a little bit. Here's something. Have you ever watched the movie Idiocracy, Derek? You remember that movie, right? You've never seen it? You need to watch it. And I would encourage every listener, if you have an hour and a half to watch the stupidest movie in the world, you'll watch it and you'll go, oh my God, that's happening to us now. And it's a great movie. It's got Owen Wilson, I think, is the star of it. But you'll see a lot of cameos from different people who did it. And it's kind of a spoof and incredibly funny. But let's take a look at what kiosk life could be for you in the near future. You got that track ready? Go.
Enjoy your extra big-ass fries.
You didn't give me no fries. I got an empty box.
Would you like another?
Extra big-ass fries.
I said I didn't get any.
Thank you. Your account has been charged. Your balance is 0. Please
What?
come back when you can afford to make a purchase.
No.
I'm sorry you're having
Come
trouble.
on. My kids are starving.
This should help you calm down. Please come back when you can afford to make a purchase. Your kids are starving. Carl's Jr. believes no child should go hungry. You are an unfit mother. Your children will be placed in the custody of Carl's Jr.
All right, so that's what you're going to end up with. You're going to be living life at a kiosk. You think these companies are stupid? I mean, let's be honest. You could probably walk up to the kiosk at a McDonald's, a Wendy's, or Burger King, punch in your own order right there, and make sure that it's right? And use the kiosk. And it's not going to cost them $15 an hour to put that kiosk there. So you can't. This whole charade, whatever you want to call it, of minimum wage at $15 an hour is a lie that's going to do nothing but hurt jobs, and now it's happening already. We've seen it in Seattle. We've seen it in Los Angeles. All these places that require a $15 an hour minimum wage, it's driving jobs away. Restaurants are closing up. People are moving to kiosks. That's what's going to happen. Stop messing with economics. The system, the government cannot make it any better. We would be paying more. Here's the problem. You want to institute a minimum wage, a federally mandated minimum wage. You're interrupting the flow of the economy. But they're doing it because why? Because they've already interrupted the flow of the economy by supplying additional labor at lower rates for these companies. That's where your illegals come in. That's where your legal immigrants come in. What did you expect to happen? This is what government does. Everything they touch, they make worse. It's incredible. Okay, we're going to move on to another story when we come back. Derek, let's take a break. And when we get into the other side, we're going to pick up the subject that I hate most to talk about, but I think we actually have to, and that is the transgender bathroom. So we'll see you on the other side. I'm Gary Wellings, chief editor of The Current and The Daily Drift. With today's internet environment, it's easy to get information overload. The best way to process this information and cut through the internet chatter is to get your news delivered in a concise and effective manner. Get the news you need to know at thedailydrift.com. Check out The Daily Drift, one of the fastest growing websites around. At The Daily Drift, I find the local, state, national, and international stories you won't get from the mainstream media, and I make it easy for you to link to them. You'll also get original common sense opinions from local writers. You can even get a free subscription that will deliver a link to your email inbox every day for free. You'll also get instant access to all archived podcasts of the Drift Radio Show and links to the best articles, opinions, and websites. Go to www.thedailydrift.com. That's the news you'll need to know at thedailydrift.com.
Constantly tired, can't lose weight, experiencing hair loss, brain fog? You're not alone. I'm here today with Dr. Dan Geck discussing the upcoming Thyroid and Weight Loss Seminar. Dr. Geck, why are you hosting this event?
It's simple. 26 million Americans are suffering with thyroid and autoimmune-related conditions, yet their blood work is normal. They're still experiencing weight gain despite diet and exercise, constant fatigue, brain fog, and more.
So why are people suffering with these symptoms if their blood work is normal?
Thyroid and autoimmune conditions are among the most misdiagnosed and mistreated conditions in the United States. Many doctors are just running the wrong tests that don't measure true cellular inflammation.
Why is this important?
Because many times weight loss resistance, fatigue, thinning hair, and brain fog are due to cellular inflammation and toxins, and now we can measure this.
To learn more, join Dr. Geck for a lecture on Wednesday, May 18th at 5:30 p.m. Visit AnnArborThyroid.com to register. That's AnnArborThyroid.com.
Do you still believe in the golden rule? Then you must feel surrounded by a world that doesn't seem to care about it at all. You've heard about wise guys on Wall Street who rig the system to make sure that part-timers don't have a chance. The politicians who write laws they'll never follow themselves. And the spin doctors they hire to hide their true intentions from the people. Even in your own town and neighborhood, you've seen people turn their backs on each other, close their hearts, and mute their conscience. When free people know the right choice but refuse to make it, we give up on each other. And we give up on our freedom, too. That's what makes good guys so special. They will never give up. We are the 5 million men and women of the National Rifle Association of America, and we still believe in the golden rule. Join us today.
You're listening to The Drift on Wham Talk 1600. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. Now, back to your host, Gary Wellings.
And thank you for tuning in to catch my drift here at Wham Talk 1600. It's a beautiful Saturday, not cloudy, cold, rainy. It's one of those days, so I'm glad to be actually in the studio with Derek. Thank you again, Derek, for coming in.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, always good to have you on the other side of the glass, as Ed would say. If you've got somewhere to go tonight or don't have somewhere to go tonight, go to Burroughs Roadhouse out in Brighton. We call it West Brighton, actually. 810-227-6000. They've got a great bunch of specials on. They do a comedy show at 8:30, but you got to call in early to get reservations because they sell out real quick. It's Burroughs Roadhouse in Brighton, 810-227-6000. Check them out. Great place. And if you have not tuned into the show before, this is what we do. We go over the news that we've put at thedailydrift.com. And if you find a story that I have not found and put on the Daily Drift, email it to me, Gary at thedailydrift.com. And if you miss this live broadcast, Saturdays here at 2 o'clock, you can catch it at conservativeradionetwork.com Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. So that's conservativeradionetwork.com, ICRN. So I'm easy to find. You can also find it on Spreaker and a bunch of other places, too. So Gary Wellings, you can find me just about anywhere. All right, so we woke up I think it was Thursday morning this week, with Obama doing another one of his pushes of his agenda. And let's do with track 2 there, Derek. Let's talk about Obama pushing bathroom transgender equality.
The Obama administration is expected to issue a decree Friday that will give transgender students in public schools the right to use whichever bathroom corresponds with his or her gender identity, according to a report released late Thursday. On behalf of the White House, the Departments of Justice and Education will send a letter to every public school district in the country telling administrators how to create a discrimination-free environment.
Okay, so for me, I still believe that this whole transgender issue, this is what the Democrats do. They bring these social issues up because they know the Republicans always end up seeming to be on the wrong side of these things, and it gets people ginned up. It gets that liberal base ginned up to say, oh, look how mean those Republicans are. Let's not vote for them. This is a calculated ploy on Obama's part. It's not that he gives really a rat's banana whether the couple of hundred or a couple of thousand transgendered people in the country are actually able to use the bathroom of their choice. I've said it before on this show. If you've got the parts to be in the woman's bathroom, use the woman's bathroom. You know, if you've got the parts to be a man, use the man's bathroom. That's the way it should be. I mean, it's not that I'm unthinking and insensitive to people feeling I'm trapped in this man's body and I'm really a woman. Well, if you feel that way, you know what? There are things you can do about it in this day and age. You can go get your sex changed like Bruce Jenner. Derek, didn't we see that on the internet earlier? Isn't Bruce? Can you Google this up? Bruce Jenner is going back. He's going to undo so far what he's done. Leave if you can find that. I think that's what I saw on the internet earlier today, and I didn't have time to follow up on it. But if you want to do that, do what like Bruce did. He went and got the implants, and then he took his hormone shots and started wearing the fingernail polish and dressing like a woman and acting like a woman and doing all that kind of stuff. For me, Conspiracy Gary, I always think that he just did that. The whole thing was a ruse, and that's why he never had the complete operation. But you know what? Do that, see if you like it, and then do the final act, and then you can use the woman's bathroom or vice versa, whatever it is you want to do. I would think that you could go, and somebody can call in if you think you know better, 734-822-1600. I would assume that you could get your birth certificate changed, right? In this day and age,